So last time we were discussing about basics of JavaScript. Like our whole purpose was to understand how we write in JavaScript, what we mean by curly brackets, where we have to put a curly bracket, and what are called functions. What is this background command do? It's a very basic command and most commonly used. What a rectangle will do. After the word rectangle, if brackets are there, what does they mean? Okay, what is the difference between setup and draw function? All this we have discussed in our last class. I have shared this link with you. I hope you have practiced. Now, one thing which I have not discussed is mouse x, mouse y. Now, let's see the output first. Okay, now in this output, let's say the right side paddle, I have to move up and down with the help of mouse. Okay, so what I will do first, I have to decide which command belongs to the right side. Okay, so right side means the x value, that is the first value, has to be more than the center value. So out of these three rect commands, the highest x value is this. So this is my right side. Now, going up and down means I'm talking about y-axis. Y-axis is the third value. So if I want to move it up and down with respect to mouse, the command we have is mouse y. Okay, let's play. What will happen? Our paddle starts moving up and down. Okay, you can see when it goes to up, it stops at the border, but when it goes to down, it keeps going down. Why? Because in your canvas, you are telling that 400 is the size of the output screen. But in reality, you have an infinite canvas. But what you want to look at is limited by this. Okay? So, yeah. So that's why it's still keep going down, 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 because still the space is available. Okay? Now this is about mouse y. Similarly, if you want to control with respect to x, that means if the mouse is moving in the x direction, the paddle will go up and down. So this is my mouse. Let me run. Now, if I go left, it's going up. If I go right, it's going down. But if I go up or down, no effect. Okay. So mouse x, mouse y, again they are defined in your library. You are just using it from the library. Now that's all about your basics of JavaScript. Now let's move on to your another language, which is your HTML. Now to learn about HTML, we will learn the Replit platform. Let's go, like on P5 editor, we created our account. On Replit, we will create our account. Simple, you can use your Google account to create account on your Replit. Let's continue. What happened? We'll try again. Replit login. Okay, perfect. So on Replit, let's go to home. This is how you can check what all work you have done. It will come in your recent work or under my under my repls. Now create will tell you what work you want to do. You want to work in which language? HTML, CSS, JavaScript, or Python? We want to work with HTML. So let's click HTML. Now it will ask you to give a name to your file. Let's say ATL Salwan School. Okay, and what's the date today? 22nd Jan 22. Okay. Now, privacy. Do you want to make your file available to public so that if you share the link, anybody can see what work you are doing, or you want to keep it to yourself? So it's depend on you. Now let's click Replit. Okay. Now I have just created a file. While creating a file on this platform, by default, I'm getting some additional files for me. One is index.html. So the extension tells you that this is the file you have to write or you have to use to write your HTML code. Then what's this script.js doing? What's the style.css doing? So script.js, JavaScript is a language which helps you whatever you are doing, making it available online. Okay, you can run it in your browsers. So I'm running it in my Chrome browser. Why? Because this entire Replit platform has JavaScript, has been written in the language JavaScript using HTML. Now JavaScript is helping it to run inside the browser. What does CSS will do? CSS stands for Cascading Style Sheets. CSS stands for Cascading Style Sheets. Cascading Style Sheets. Okay, this is another language which is mainly used to decide how the content or presentation on your internet page has to look like. Now let's go back. Okay, so you understand why you have two more additional files with you. Now if you open your index.html, you will see some default code is being written here. With the help of this default code, I'm getting this output screen. Okay, so Replit platform helps you to code and check your output simultaneously, just like your editor P5 platform. Okay, now let me just delete this all. Okay, the very first thing I have to do is I have to communicate to computer what kind of document I'm going to create. So my first instruction is document HTML. Uh-oh. Okay, but this does not count under tags. For example, in case of your JavaScript, I told you you will be writing some functions, you will be using some curly brackets, you will be using some round brackets to make function. Similarly, whatever you write in HTML, you can write with the help of tags, T-A-G-S, tags. Okay, so a tag, open tag. First, you have to remember what is open tag. You open this arrow from the keyboard and close. This one pair will be called as open tag. What would be your closed tag? You will use the same open and close arrows and you just put a forward slash. This will become a close tag. So whenever I say open tag, close tag, I'm addressing to these symbols. Okay. But this does not count as a tag. This just count as a statement you are telling. You are declaring what kind of document you are creating. Okay. Now, whatever you will create, it has to be under HTML. So your first tag is HTML tag. I didn't come down. Okay, that's open and then that is close. So my duty is whatever I write, I have to write inside this line number 3 to 9. This is my writing area. I cannot write outside. Now under HTML, you are again dividing your work. First, how you want your content to look will go under head tag. So head is open, head needs to be closed. Then what you want to send, the content, the information, that will go under your body tag. Okay. So major is your HTML tag, then you have subdivision as head and body tag. Okay. Now in head tag, the first tag generally comes is of title. Now what this title will do? Title will tell you whenever internet page opens. For example, in this internet page, you will see I have my Google Slides, right? But if I'm in another browser and I just bring my cursor on top of this tab, can you see what information it is giving me? Day 1, Q2, that is quarter 2, app building, ATL, blah blah blah, whatever it is. Okay, so this is what your title is deciding. So in my output, what I want to see as my tab heading or tab title, that I have to write inside title. So I would like to see, for example, my profile. Okay, that's it. Fine. Let's run this. My profile is ready, but okay, let's open this in another tab. It should come on the tab name, but it's coming on as a content. HTML, head, title, title is closed. Then you have body. Okay, let's say in body, I want my name. I'll explain you what is H1. Yeah. So if I run this, just go and say HTML heading styles. Let's go to images. Yes. So if you use H1, this is the highest size you will get for your text, and it will be bold. Then comes H2, H3, H4, H5, and H6. Don't go on color. Color you decide separately. This H1 to H6 you decide to control the size of your text. Okay. So when I used H1 here, I'm just telling what is the size of my text. I can say H6 and run. And this is my heading style. Okay. Now, next, let's say I want to create a content which if I click, it takes me to some other page, internet page. Okay. So for that, two things we have to use. First is your anchor tag. Inside your anchor tag, you will put your attribute her. Attribute, okay. First, you are working with anchor tag. And how to use an anchor tag? Open bracket A, this is open, and you have to use / close tag. Okay. Inside this anchor tag, the attribute is like property. For example, I have a football, but what is the color of the football? The color is the property. So I'm using her as the attribute. Now, in this her attribute, what I need to use? I need to use the link of that page. Okay. For example, the link of that page is not with me. The link is not with me. Why? Because I'm still creating that page. Can you all see my screen?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
It was visible before also?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I just got message that now my screen is visible. So, okay, fine. So what I was telling you is I want to create a page and then use that page. So to create a pages, go to your file section. Okay, add a file, and that to HTML file. Let's say we have projects.html file. Okay, .html is important because we are working to create pages on web. Okay, this is my first file. My another file is, let's say, about, and remember, don't give spaces in the name of the file. Use underscore about me.html. So these two extra pages I have created, extra HTML files I have created. Now these two extra files I want to link into my main file, that is index.html, using my anchor tag. Okay. Now, how it's possible? Using the attribute her. So what will I put inside this double quotes? Double quotes I told you in your JavaScript also. When you give computer a data type which has to be a sentence, a word, a name, that is called string. Strings represented by double quotes. Okay. So what is my file name? It says project.html. Exactly the same name you have to write here. Okay. Now, you are outside your open tag, but inside your closed tag. So in this area, you are free to tell what content you want. I want the same content, projects. So let's see what will happen. Run. I have projects as a content, but if I click on projects, I'm navigated to another page. But this page says not found because inside my project, I have written nothing. Okay. So same thing, just copy this, paste it, replace this with your about.html and text. Oh, sorry, my name was about_me and text. I can say about me. Okay, so I have projects, I have about me. Now see, if you look at this, you will say, ma'am, can we have some space between projects and about me? Then it comes under my CSS. Okay, fine. After that, but one additional tag you can learn is called break. If you use break, that will also give you some space. So it will just break the line. So about me just comes in the separate line. But if you want to stay in the horizontal line and give the break, then go in style.css, use some knowledge of CSS, and then you can do that. So I'm not sure whether we will be learning CSS or not. Let me think about it. How can I make a small exercise for you to learn CSS? Okay, I think we can do. So after HTML, I will cover CSS for you also. Okay, that's it. So this we have done. Now let's say I want to write some paragraph. Okay, not paragraph. I want to write 2-3 lines on this web page. So 2-3 lines on a web page you can put inside your paragraph. Okay. So P stands for paragraph tag. Let's say I want to tell you about these are some of the projects, or these are some of my personality traits. I want to discuss about what is my personality. Okay. Now, full stop. If you want to add anything else, you can continue. Let's discover about myself. Okay. Now let's run this. So this is how your paragraph looks like. Same thing you can do with your H1 command. Okay. But again, if you don't want to stick yourself into the HTML H1 to H6 font styling, you can just go for paragraph. Okay. Paragraph is done. Now, let's say I want to combine my paragraph with my anchor tag. How can I do that? So for example, I want to tell you about my personality. Okay. So what I basically like to do, I like to meditate. Okay. Now, when I say I like to meditate, that should come as an information for you. And side by side, or if you click on that meditate, you will go to a different page. Let me search for meditation. Meditate or meditation practices. Not practices, let's just go for meditation styles. And I would like you to go through this page. So I'll just copy the link address. I have this link address. I will go back. What's my job? Open the anchor tag, use the herb attribute. In the double quotes, put your link. If you don't have link, you have a file name, use the file name. Okay, close your herf. Then inside the herf, I will use my paragraph. What I want to tell you about meditation styles. And remember, I have not closed this tag, so it will give me error. If I run this, it's not giving me error. Now you might say that or think why it's not giving you error when I'm saying. So what happens, this replit.com platform, the company is continuously improving its platform. So if the user like me forgets to put this close tag, then also the output should come. So it's an improvement they have done at the backend. But if you go for syntax or if you go for offline tools, some of the tools will give you error. Okay, but if they are also improving the tools, might be it not give you error. So now if I click meditation style, what will happen? It will take me to this website. Okay, done?
Yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
Now after this, what can we have is, if I want to add some image, and other than image will be there. If you go and click on the image, you should again go to some link. So same process, open the anchor tag, herf, but you want to add the image. So for herf, you use your hashtag first. Hashtag is important if you are working with image. Close your anchor tag. Okay, sorry, it's still in the open mode. This is your close anchor tag. Now inside this anchor tag, use your image command. You just write image, img. SRC stands for source, from where your image you are taking. Let's say I want to take this image. I go to this image. I say right click, right click, copy link, and in the source, I will use this image, and outside my source, my anchor tag is closed. Now, image is still open. This is still your open tag. You need to close it. What you can do is, you can just put a / here. So what will happen? This is your inline close. You open and close in the same line. Okay, this is done. Now after this, let's say just below this image, I want something to say, what I would like to say. Let's say I write posture, meditation posture. Okay, now let's go and run. Okay, you can see it's giving me a image icon. Let's see if we can expand it in a fresh tab. Okay, so image is there, but it's not openable. So what else I can do is, I'll just go to this image. I say save image as, I will save it on my system. And then I come to Replit. I say I want to, not add folder. I would like to upload a file. Yes, over 3 dots, click upload file. And On desktop, I have saved MEDD. Okay. So this is my image. Okay. This is index. Index. Yeah. What I can do is I can remove this link and I can just put my name of the file, medd.png. What was the name? JPEG. medd.jpeg. Let's run this. Now I can see the images coming completely. Okay. That's it. Now next, if I want to control how big the image should look like, what I can do is inside my image, after your string ends, you just give your width in percentage, let's say 50, height, let's say 50, and let's run. So you see, it reduces the pixels of your image. Okay. So if you play around with pixels, your picture can be blurry. That's what is happening here. If you see it completely in a big browser, you will see the picture is still blurry. Okay. So what we learned today is in HTML, what is a tag, what different tags we have, then what is H1, what you call as attribute. Okay. Herf is an attribute, image is a tag, inline closing of your tag, where you should use paragraph. Okay. That's all. So next time when we meet, we will discuss about your CSS. And yeah, so you can unmute yourself and you can tell me if you have any questions, any concerns. Let me stop. Yes, tell me. Is there anything you want to share?
Ma'am,
Yes.
ma'am, you have seen some of the H1 titles like H2, H3, H4. We can use any of this.
Yeah, it depends on you. Now, what I will do is the link which I'll share you for the video, I'll add some reference link where you can practice your HTML.